¿Vida es bella o la vida es bella? In today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about when to use the articles el, la, los and las in Spanish. Let's get into it. Okay guys, first things first, this is a general set of rules for the use of the articles in Spanish. Of course there are some exceptions, and I've also included some other uses of the articles at the end. There's 10 points here which we're going to go through, and of course use some examples in context. First things first, number 1. When do we use el, la, los o las in Spanish is when we are talking about something or a person that is clear. We know exactly who the person is. Take the Pope, for example. Everybody knows who the Pope is, okay? In Spanish, it is el Papa. Here we could say something like, el Papa es la cabeza de la Iglesia Católica. The Pope is the head of the Catholic Church. Number 2, when we're talking about something in general, okay? For example, I love fish. We wouldn't say I love the fish, no. So in Spanish we could say, me encanta el pescado. I love fish. There's a good James Stewart film, or brilliant actually, called A Wonderful Life. In Spanish this is, la vida es bella. Okay, so when we have something in general, life is very general, isn't it? So we're going to use the article la. La vida es bella, beautiful. Number 3 is when we want to specify something, okay? Imagine I'm drawing parts of an animal, okay? I take a bird, I'm gonna draw the wings. Dibujé las alas de un pájaro. I drew the wings of a bird. Okay, so here we're using the article las, the wings. Number 4 is when we are talking about the body or clothes. So parts of the body or items of clothing. Now this is very tricky for Spanish learners, and I've made mistakes many a time myself. For example, if I want to talk about a broken limb, I've broke my arm. Me rompí el brazo. I couldn't say me rompí mi brazo. We have to use el brazo, or la, and then the part of the body. Also, when we're talking about clothes, okay, for example, I'm going to put my hat on. Me voy a poner el gorro. Not me voy a poner mi gorro. No. I'm going to put on my hat, would be translated the hat. Number 5 is when we have a feminine word in Spanish. Okay, as we have the example here, agua, water. This is actually a feminine word in Spanish. If we were to make this plural, this would be las aguas. Okay, but when it's in the singular form, we use the article el agua. Number 6 is when we are talking about names or probably titles. So for example, here we have, ¿has visto la señorita Moreno? Have you seen Miss Moreno? So here, before the señorita, the miss, we have the article la. For example, a teacher. Imagine there was a teacher at your school called Mr. Hayes. ¿Has visto, or have you talked with, has hablado con el profesor Hayes? Number 7. When we're talking about some places, there's a few places in Spanish where we use the article. One of them being India. Here we could say, la India. Have you been to India? ¿Has estado en la India? Or another example would be Los Ángeles. Okay? Los Angeles in English. Qué bonita es Los Ángeles. So beautiful. Los Angeles. Number 8, when we're telling the time. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? Es la una. It is 1 o'clock. What time is it? ¿Qué hora es? It's 2 o'clock. Son las dos. Okay, so when we have more than one, it is plural. If it's 1 o'clock, es. If it's 2 o'clock, son. Number 9, when we're talking about events, okay, when is the wedding? La boda es el domingo. The wedding is on Sunday. Also, with days of the week, el domingo, which is Sunday, if we are doing something on a regular basis, for example, I go to the cinema every Sunday without fail, or you watch films every weekend, you could say veo películas los fines de semana. I watch films on the weekend. So here, if it's a routine, if it's something habitual, we're using los. And number 10, a few other ways where we use the articles in Spanish is when we're talking about sports, okay? I used to really mess up on this one big time, learning Spanish. This is with the verb jugar, okay? So this means to play. I play tennis would be juego al tenis, not juego el or juego tenis. We have to use that al, okay? So if we were to break this word up here, this would be a el. Okay, so we're saying el tenis. Remember when we were talking about number 2, something in general, tennis in general, it is el tenis. Another one is forms of transportation. Okay, here we have the example of the train. Okay, maybe you could say the train is a comfortable way of traveling. El tren es muy cómodo para viajar. And the last one is when we're talking about playing musical instruments. They play the violin. And remember, it's not juegan. No. To play a musical instrument is using the verb tocar in Spanish. Ellos, so they, tocan el violín. They play the violin. Ellos tocan el violín. Okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed this lesson today about when to use the articles in Spanish. It's very useful to know more or less when and where to use it because I know it can be very difficult in Spanish. So, what better way than to put it into practice? So we're going to have a little question game now to see how well you do. Okay guys, first question. How would you say in Spanish, I broke my nose? And nose in Spanish is nariz. I broke my nose is me rompí la nariz. Okay, nariz is feminine, so we have to say la nariz. How would you say I traveled to India? And to travel is viajar. Viajé a la India. Very good, fantastic. How would you say I play tennis on weekends? Yo juego al tenis los fines de semana. Well done today guys. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you want to leave a comment down below, please feel free to do so and subscribe to the channel. That's been all from Spanish Touch today. Ciao for now.